YouTube and welcome to another GV anime review, where this week I am reviewing the anime Minami Kamakura Kouko Joshi Jitensha-bu, or Minami Kamakura High School Girls Bicycle Club, another cycling anime that saw the light in the aftermath of Yowamushi Pedal, which basically opened the door to this type of animes. So for a cycling fan like me, these are golden times. And let's see if Minami was another great cycling anime. The main heroine of this anime is Maiharu Hiromi, who just started her first year at Minami Kamakura High School. To get to school, she starts riding her bicycle again, and through her bike she makes friends with other cycling-minded girls who pull Hiromi deeper into the world of cycling. The first thing that I immediately liked right from the first moment in the first episode was the animation and the art style of Minami Kamakura. DC Stuff makes some of my favorite art. It is so colorful and vibrant, and it immediately caught my attention in the first episode. The color palette emphasized what this anime wants to convey, being the fun of cycling with your friends. And another thing that was way more surprising when it came to the animation was the excellent use of 3D animation in this anime. If you are familiar with my channel, you must have picked up that I don't like 3D animation. But once in a while, there's an anime that uses good 3D animation, and Minami Kamakura was one of those rare cases. When we see that 3D shot of the sea in the first episode, I was sold completely on the animation of this anime. And there's another positive point about the animation that I want to address. In my review of Long Riders, another cycling anime, I complained about the robotic and unnatural cycling animation. Well, here in Minami Kamakura, the cycling felt way more natural. The bodies of the characters had a more natural and non-forced position on the bike. So the probably larger budget that a studio like GC Stuff could invest into this anime made it possible to deliver better animation than the one of Long Riders, where the budget most likely was a lot lower. Next positive point is that it seems that this anime was sponsored or at least supported by actual bike brands. The names on the frames of the bikes were actual bike brands, not slightly adapted ones like we see in Yowamushi Pedal. And when an anime is supported by an actual company, that usually means higher quality. Take Hibiki Euphonium as an example, which was supported by Yamaha. The extra support means extra quality when it comes to the final design and animation of the company's product, in this case the bicycles. The last positive point that I have to say about Minami Kamakura was that at the end of each episode, the anime would give us live action bike information about all kinds of maintenance, going from fixing punctures to finding your ideal position on the bike. So this was truly an anime that wanted to inspire and to help people to get on a bike. I do have to mention that the two female hosts of this live action part were quite cringy to watch. I still don't understand why Japanese women always have to act so cringy in these live action things. But either way, adding this information to the anime was pure bike propaganda. Now, my negative points are basically the same ones that I mentioned in my review of Long Riders. One, if you're not into cycling, then there is no real reason for you to watch this anime, and you won't find a lot of enjoyment in it. That perhaps explains the low score that this anime received on Anime Planet. It is a niche anime that only applies to the fans of slightly moe cycling animes. And two, just like in Long Riders, there is no development towards an ultimate goal in this anime. In Long Riders we do have the prospect of the big flash that Ami wants to ride, but here in Minami Kamakura there is no future goal at all, which again added to the boringness of this anime if you're not into cycling. So as a conclusion, Minami Kamakura was like Long Riders, missing a long-term goal and some excitement along the way. But the way how everything was presented here was way better. The animation felt more natural, it was smoother and it had a more vibrant color palette. So I am going to rate Minami Kamakura Kouko Joshi Jitensha-bu at 3.5 out of 5 stars. As a cycling fan, I had fun watching this anime, but I can understand that not everyone found it to be so interesting. Recommendations for this anime are, as I mentioned, Long Riders, and I would add Yowamushi Pedal to that for a more exciting cycling anime. A different anime that I would recommend would be Bakugou. Bakugou felt a lot like Minami Kamakura with its focus on the enjoyment behind the hobby. And with that I conclude my review of Minami Kamakura Kouko Joshi Jitensha-bu. As usual, you can find the full list of all my animes and reviews over at Anime Planet. As usual, I will put a link in the description box down below. Now if you want me to review a particular anime from this list, please put it in the comments. Also, if you have a recommendation for me, put it in the comments as well. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, visit me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and subscribe to this channel for more reviews in the future. Then I will say arigatou gozaimasu and I will see you all in the next video.